Your camera measures light to determine proper exposure using metering modes. If an area is too bright, it will be clipped by the image sensor and appear completely white. If an area is too dark, it will lose detail and appear dim. The camera's metering modes are accessed through the camera's brightness color menu. Here you can choose from multi, center, and spot metering. Multi-metering divides the scene into multiple areas and measures the balance of light over the entire scene. Multi is the default setting and is great for general picture taking. Center-weighted metering measures the average brightness of the entire screen while emphasizing the center area. This is helpful when the lighting of the center of the scene is different than the rest of the scene. Spot metering measures light from a very small portion of the center of the frame. If the light on your subject is very different than the rest of the scene, center the subject in the frame and use the spot metering mode. It's important to understand that the quality of your pictures is affected by the color of the surrounding light and how the camera's electronics process that light. Compensating for varying light conditions is referred to as setting the white balance. Most light looks white to an untrained eye, but it can be composed of a range of different colors. For example, the color of sunlight is different in daylight, in the shade, or in cloudy conditions. Daylight is fairly blue and fluorescent light is fairly green. If your camera is set to shoot in incandescent light, but you're shooting outdoors in daylight, your image will look overly blue. Proper camera white balance takes into account the color temperature of a light source, which refers to the relative warmth or coolness of white light. Human eyes are very good at judging what is white under different light sources. However, digital cameras can have difficulty determining auto white balance. Incorrect white balance can create unattractive and unrealistic blue, orange, or even green colors in your photos. Sony E-mount cameras have several different white balance settings, which can be accessed through the camera's brightness color menu under white balance. Here you can use the control wheel to select the white balance setting you'd like. The default option is Auto White Balance, or AWB. In this mode, the camera will determine the correct white balance for you. The preset white balance options include daylight, shade, cloudy, incandescent, fluorescent, and flash. You can use the color temperature filter option to set the white balance to match the color temperature of the current light source. You can also set a custom white balance to perfectly match the lighting conditions where you are shooting. To set a custom white balance, select the Custom Setup option. When the camera prompts you, simply take a picture of a white or gray object. The image is not saved to the memory card, but will be displayed with a color temperature reading after the white balance measurement is taken. Sony E-mount cameras have a feature called bracketing. Bracketing is a technique that's used to ensure good exposure on important shots. When you use the bracketing feature, the camera will take 3 shots, all with a slightly varied exposure. To use the bracketing feature, press the top soft key to enter the camera's menu system. Use the control wheel and center soft key to scroll to and select the camera menu. Select Drive Mode, then the bracket option. Now, press the shutter halfway down to focus. Then press it the rest of the way down and hold while 3 shots are taken. Each of the 3 images will have a slightly different exposure, which will help ensure that you have good exposure on at least one of the shots. This technique is often used for sunset images, fast action shots, and situations with difficult lighting.